Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for a fresh shampoo, Father God.
Thank you, Lord.
Father God, we thank you, Father God, for your tender mercy.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Father God, we thank you, Father God, for your grace, Father God.
Yes, Lord.
Father God, we ask that right now, Father God, you will humble me, Father God, under the drippings of your blood.
Yes,
Please, Lord Jesus.
Father God, I pray that right now, Father God, that these die your people, Father God, may see you and not me.
Yeah, yeah.
I pray that, Father God, you will give me all that I need, Father God. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
If you would, turn with me to the book of Isaiah,
My God.
the 53rd chapter. And we're going to begin reading at verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
But he was wounded for our transgressions.
Say so, son.
He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Drop down to verse 10. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied by his knowledge. Shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall hear their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong. Because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. I'm going to talk for them subject today, the perfect servant through the humbling, suffering servant.
Amen.
Our points, the smiting servant and the satisfied servant. Isaiah 53 describes the life and ministry of Jesus Christ, his death, burial, and resurrection, and his exaltation. The theme that ties this chapter together is that the innocent servant died in the place of the guilty. In verses 4 through 6, Isaiah starts off by explaining the cross from the believer's point of view. This is the heart of the passage. It presents the heart of the gospel message. The innocent servant dying as a sacrifice for sins. The emphasis in verses 4 through 6 is on the plural pronouns, our griefs, our sorrows, and our transgressions, as well as our iniquities. We have gone astray. We have turned to our own way. He did not die because of anything he had done, but because of what we have done. He was wounded, which means pierced through. On the cross, he was bruised. He was bruised on that cross, and Jesus is still calling people today. Isaiah 53, verses 10 through 12, there's now a transition, or rather a shift. In these verses, the prophet Isaiah now explains the cross from God's point of view. Even though Jesus was crucified by the hand of wicked men, his death was already determined by God. Jesus was not a scapegoat, nor was his death an accident. He was God's sacrifice for the sins of the world. Well, how you know it, preacher? Because one Friday, on the hill called Calvary, they hung by Jesus on an old rugged cross. He hung there from the 6th to the 9th hour. So they hung my Jesus till the sun refused to shine. They hung my Jesus until the moon dripped away in blood. They hung my Jesus until the stars fell out of their silver sockets. They hung my Jesus until the men could take no more. I tell you that one after he died, they buried him in an old borrowed tomb. of Joseph Arimathea. He stayed there all night Friday, and all Saturday morning, and all Saturday afternoon, and all Saturday night. But early, can you hear me say early Sunday morning, he got up and declared that all power of heaven and earth was in his hand. If anybody here knows it's all right, know he'll make the way out of no way. Know he'll see you through and others forsake you. I tell you, Jesus is my rock. He's my salvation. I tell you, if you don't know him today, you ought to try him.